I think we're just about ready here, so check it, wreck it as you're gonna go. Here we go. Hope you guys are ready for another edition. Well, the first edition, actually, to be honest with you. And you guys know what's going on, right? It's all about the Torchlight Energy today. Boy, talk about torching their shareholders, right? That's what I'm talking about. They completely just torched their freaking base. I just don't understand why any company would do that, right? So basically, we got to discuss this because I know that there's a lot of people who are now left hanging the bag, so to speak, right? The bag holders. So it's a terrible thing, and we want to address it. So here's what's going on, right? The premise here is that we're going to be covering, I'm going to be covering, obviously, all these topics that have to do with pumps or dumps because, as you know, that's what's going on right now, okay? And this is a very frothy market, and I think it's imperative that people understand basically how to look at it because I totally get it. Trust me, I'm an investor, and I made money in this pump, so I'm going to be very, very forthright with you, but I'm also going to be forthright. I don't think that you should listen to any of this. I'm not a financial advisor, and so you shouldn't take anything seriously that you hear on the show. But of course, there's a grain of salt there because I am an investor, and I do actually have a foot on the ground, so to speak. My ears are on the ground at all times, you know? All right, so look, let's talk about this. Man, let me tell you, today was absolutely morbid. What the CEO pulled off was an absolutely scary, scary thing. And just so you guys understand, I do think that we're looking at essentially a real problem because I see it as a systemic problem. It's all over. And it started with GameStop, right? And it's just so terrible. I don't understand how it happened. But whatever, okay? All right, guys, look. So basically what this guy did, the CEO today, all right, he managed to pull a fast one. And the way he did that was by doing dilution, right? He did the dilution, and he did the dilution in a very dirty, dirty, dirty way. What do I mean dirty, right? When I say dirty, I mean the dirtiest of it all. Last night, after hours, the CEO went ahead and did a filing. And this filing, turns out, is to dilute and do an offering. So just so that you guys understand and everybody's clear on this, thus far, up until yesterday, there's only been one offering, and that seemed to tank the stock a couple days ago when they announced it. And then they went ahead and they did the deal. Now, that was $100 million we're talking about, okay? And at that point, it did hurt the price action. However, it recovered by the end of the day. So that was really cool. And because of the GameStop and AMC lately that they've been doing this, it's like I said, this is now a brand new formula. It's not a brand new formula. It's something actually that's been tried and tested. So let's just be clear about that. But look, here's what's really vexing, okay? The CEO went ahead and did this thing unwittingly, unbeknownst to the investors. Now, of course, obviously, this is the biggest stab in the back because you're talking about dividends that are going to be coming out on the 25th. And the 24th, you have to own the stock, but you had to basically be in the stock today, no later than 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, right? Okay, so far, I think you guys follow. Now, what happened was, and just so you guys understand, I'm going to be showing you guys every time when it's a pump or a dump. That's the whole idea here. And right now, you can still save yourself, so to speak, to some extent, depending on where you got into this stock. Mind you, it's got huge, huge volume, right? But volume isn't everything. The story is that the CEO went ahead and did a offering 3 days ago, tanked the stock. Yesterday, went ahead and did a filing in the middle of the night, so to speak, right after hours, in other words, when everybody was off, thinking it's all smooth sailing. And just so you understand, the amount of footage and coverage on this particular stock, this is now the top meme stock when it comes to the WSB crew, right? The Reddit thing. That's very cool, by the way. But you got to be realistic, right? These people are not these so-called apes. They're awesome. They're dope. I'm totally part of that movement. I can really get down, and I get it. So I very much appreciate it. But what's happening is that they're just basically taking advantage of these so-called apes. These are basically very naive type of investors. Naive in the sense that they're willing to let go of these types of issues, thus overlook it, so to speak. They're saying, look, if you want to improve the company's bottom line, we're going to back you. Well, I think that's great. Now, guess what the problem is? This guy filed last night, not just for another 100 million. No. Guess what? He did another 150 on top of that. We're talking literally 100 plus 150. Now you're talking 350 million in a span of 3 business days. This is completely uncalled for. Really shouldn't even be allowed. But for whatever reason, there is a merger going on, which is going to be taking place on the 30th of June. That's in 1 week, right, guys? That's 8 days from now. And so, obviously, before I go any further, I must tell you that this is 100%, since you are watching or listening, rather, to Dump It or Pump It, this is 100% now has become into a Dump It. All right, you guys, just understand that this is unfortunately not a good situation. So, what was that again? Dump it. Exactly. That's what's going on here. And the reason you should dump it is this. Now, I'm not being your financial advisor, but I am being somebody that cares about the everyday investor. Shorts are not bad people. Shorts are actually really good for stocks because they allow you to have a short squeeze. So let's just be open about that right now. A lot of people are saying that that's not a cool thing. So anyways, all right, let me go ahead and continue. This saga, right, that he has pulled off right now, tomorrow. Oh, by the way, so the stock in the afternoon started waning in a really bad way. The volume was big, and you can tell this morning pre-market, it actually went up to 11.95. It printed just 5 cents shy of 12. And you guys have to understand, that was the predicted price stock for the actual blow up. Now remember, this stock just came from 375 last week, okay? So it's done a monster climb. But guess what? That doesn't excuse the fact that it goes from 11.95 in pre-market, tanks it down to like 9.40 in pre-market. That was a complete tell-all, just so you guys know. You can smell a rat from a very, very far away. If you're looking for the signs, it was very reminiscent of what AMC just did, right? Dump it! That's right. Basically, they dumped shares on the market. AMC did this when it was $78 a couple of weeks back, maybe like 3-4 weeks ago when it hit the all-time high. Was 72, and then the following morning in the pre-market it went to 78, at which point the news hit, and of course you know the saga, it went down to $37 within like an hour or two of that announcement. So the fact that they started the offering as well, AMC. And so now Torchlight is obviously in on this whole strategy. It seems like it's like a cancerous growth that's completely permeating the culture of the market. It is absolutely disgusting that they're allowed to get away with this kind of stuff. What are they doing? Dump it. This is bad, guys. I'm not into it. And I don't condone it. Just so you guys understand, I do think it makes great business sense, but here's the bottom line. The reason I say dump it is because what you're going to get right now, tomorrow rather, is going to be very, very ugly. Tonight it started in the aftermarket. It's closed exactly at $7. Mind you, came down from $11.95 pre-market, and then it tanked down to $7. Now it touched as low as $6.82, I believe. And on top of that, it ended at 6.50 at 7.59 Eastern Standard in the after hours trading. So now you're talking about whatever that is, 45% down on the day. And you're telling me, Oliver, here's the problem, my friend. That was 375. So 650 is still, let's face it, almost double. I'll give you that. There's just one major issue with that. Here is your hole. This stock, based on the fact that it's got a dividend It's a special dividend anywhere from $1 to $25, right? And that's another thing. People don't understand. Everybody thinks it's going to be a huge dividend. I don't know what the dividend is going to be, first of all. But I can tell you this. It's probably closer to the lower end of the dollar than it is to the 25 high end. Everything that has been presented here thus far with Torchlight smells of a really bad pump and dump operation. All right? Dump it and pump it. The reason I say that is basically you have a 4 personnel company. That's a tip off when you've got supposedly 3,000 or 4,000 acres in Plano, Texas, and you're talking about like 3 billion barrels of proven out oil in the ground. Okay, that's real value there. But then why is it that Torchlight Energy has been defunct for 4 years? Okay, that's a very big tip off. Now I know what you guys are going to say. I know what you're going to say. Watch this. You're thinking, well, guess what, brother? We don't really care about the fundamentals. Okay. I will grant you that. Again, there is going to be a problem with that because fundamentals aside, you've got a defunct company that hasn't operated in 4 years. Last quarter, it managed to put out, I think, a $24,000 revenue according to the filings. These are all bad things, okay? Now, they're going to be doing a merger with another company, a Canadian outfit, right, which is Meta Media. Or Meta, sorry, no, I meant to say it's Meta something. It doesn't matter. What matters is that they're going to be doing a hypothetical. And when I thought about this very hard and strong, I realized, you know what? This is actually a classic pump and dump. What they've managed to do was they're actually going out there and using the media, which is $300, $400, $500 for press release, right? And they went ahead and took the media, did a few press releases, and literally created an enormous pump and dump. And now we know it's a dump because things don't come down this drastically in one single day, especially with all the volume. So I got to just repeat that and let that one sink in. Guys, things don't do it this way. This is not the normal, anytime there is such good news. And this was really, really good news. So then I thought about it. First of all, they're 75% owners of the 4,000 acres in Plano, Texas. So that means that right off the bat, they're not entitled to the entire 3 or 4 billion barrels that they supposedly have as proven reserves. So I think that's really, really cool. But at the end of the day, guys, just remember,
dump it.
And I say that with the nicest tone.
Dump it.
Right? You have to dump it because
Dump
at this point, there's real problems. Tomorrow morning when you wake up is a very, very high likelihood, very big chance that it's going to be very, very, very ugly. Okay?
Dump it.
How ugly is it going to be? Oh, man. Let me tell you, I foresee tomorrow us going down another couple of dollars pretty easily. You see, once the record date, which was today at 4 o'clock closing, you had to own it, once that has expired, then of course the next thing is, why would anybody want to buy this stock for the next few days when there is not going to be, you can't participate in that dividend, even if it is more than $1. And by the way, let's say it's just $1. After fees, you're going to be getting a quarter, especially with all the dilution that happened today. These are things that are completely uncalled for, and the only one that gets hurt, obviously, is the shareholder, right? It's just the shareholder. Nobody else gets. We are the bag holders, so to speak. I mean, as soon as I saw the action, I got out of that position. I cleared myself. Full disclosure, I did end up making $1,000. Full disclosure, I went long on it, and I owned it for a matter of hours. And when I saw the action on it, I got in at 8:30, and I got out at 9:50. Okay, that's price. So I had to do that. There was no other way to do it. It was very, very scary. And by the way, just so you guys know, it's gut-wrenching to see your money at work doing this kind of a thing. You know what I mean?
Dump it.
You have to, please, you guys, just bear with me here, okay? It's really, really just unbelievable the things that are going on right now, right? In this market, the way these shenanigans, because the thing is that I'm not upset at anybody. I can see the charts. So what I do, of course, is I'm at the charts looking at the live graphs, and in real time, I'm analyzing what's going on. I'm also looking at the candles and the candle wicks. These are things that, investors obviously need to understand. But if you don't understand it, that's kind of what we're here for right now. That's what I'm here for, you know what I mean?
Dump it. Dump it.
So Torchlight, let me tell you, I was very excited about it. And everybody was saying that this thing is going to go to the moon, right? And I totally understand that. I really do. But guess what? That's not what's going to happen.
Dump it.
Before you lose all your money, all right? I'm not saying that you're going to lose all your money, but I am saying that unfortunately it's not looking very, very good at all. At this point, it's looking pretty bad. And again, I hope it doesn't happen like that, but we're going to see what happens. So just so you guys understand, right now, this move was so bad, so terrible, and I feel so bad for the bag holders. You guys have no idea. And I wish I could tell you that this should be a pump it. I don't want to be saying bad things. I got out the second that I noticed, okay, this is a dump. Anyways, that's my 2 cents. I definitely appreciate you guys tuning in for those who actually are tuning in, right? And this is Dump It or Pump It. If you guys have any suggestions on any stock, let me know. I'm very happy to look at it and, of course, give you a good analysis. But it's all about the momentum. I'm a momentum guy, right? If it's a meme, if it's momentum, I will be there to let you know what's up, right?
Dump it.
So anyways, thanks so much, guys. Torchlight Energy. It's a heartache, guys. It's a heartache. If you don't get out, it's going to get very ugly. It's going to go down a lot, and the dump has already begun. All right? See you guys next time. Dump it or pump it.